Shalom. I am Rabbi Nathan Davidovich, speaking to you from Efrat, Israel. Pesach, as you perhaps may know, is just around the corner. This coming Shabbat is Shabbat HaGadol, the great Shabbat. I'll only say one quick word about Shabbat HaGadol. There are a number of reasons why it's called Shabbat HaGadol, the great Sabbath. There are actually two Shabbatot in the year where drushot are given, where the rabbi is supposed to give a talk to his congregation explaining the halachas, the laws of that particular holiday. One is Shabbos Tshuva, which is between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and the other is the Shabbos before Pesach, with the Shabbos HaGadol, where the rabbi is supposed to talk about the laws of Pesach. And the laws of Pesach are very, very involved. But historically, what happened on the original day that was Shabbos HaGadol, which was the 10th of Nissan? On the 10th of Nissan, the Jews in Egypt were commanded to take a lamb and to bring it to their house for 4 days to be able to slaughter the Paschal sacrifice on the 14th. So you can just picture it. The lamb was worshipped by the Egyptians as a god. And here's this little Jew schlepping a lamb down the street of Egypt. And the Egyptian comes up to him, "What are you doing?" "I'm taking this lamb to my house. I'm going to hold it there for 4 days. I'm going to slaughter it." Well, can you imagine the Mesirat Nefesh that it took for the Jew to say that? Can you imagine the courage it took for the Jew to say to his captor, to his slave master, we're gonna slaughter your God. And the miracle was that the Egyptian was powerless to do anything about it. So that's why it was called Shabbos HaGadol, because it occurred on Shabbos. Mm. There's other reasons about Shabbos HaGadol, but we're not going to talk about that. Instead, we're going to talk tonight about Bedikat Chametz, the search for Chametz. The search for Chametz takes place on the night before Pesach, on the night of the 14th of Nissan. It's customary by many people to put out 10 little pieces of bread, to hide 10 little pieces of bread before you do the search. Make sure it's not bread that's going to crumble and leave a lot of crumbs. Make it something that's hard, so it won't be leaving crumbs. And then you do the search, and you find the 10 pieces. You make the bracha, and you go searching the house, and you find the 10 pieces. Well, we're going to talk about the Bedikas Chametz, and we're going to point out that the Bedikas Chametz has a much greater message than just finding 10 little crumbs of bread. We're talking about the real significance of that and what the real Chametz is. And the Netivot Shalom is going to discuss that. So we're going to be looking at the Netivot Shalom, this particular sefer, and he has, before he starts the books on the Parshot, he has a volume 1 and 2, Aleph and Beit. One talks about Aleph talks about Emunah, belief in Hashem, and other things. Beit, the one we're going to use tonight, talks about various holidays. And this is one of his Torahs on Bedikas Chametz. So we're going to start on page Reish Chav Tet, 229. It's called Bodki Bechurin V'Sadkin. The Mishnah in the Gemara Psachim teaches us that we have to search in every nook and cranny, anywhere where your hand can enter, where a child's hand could enter to put chametz. You have to search and make sure you can see that. I apologize for my voice. I've got laryngitis. over which I don't have much control, and hopefully you'll be able to hear me as I speak. The Mishnah also says that Orlar Ba'asar, and this is how the Netivot Shalom starts, Orlar Ba'asar on the evening of the 14th of Nissan, which happens to be this coming, not this week, but next week, Thursday, Bodkid es Chametz L'or Haner. You search for the Chametz with the light of a candle. Now, the fact of a candle is very specific. You might think that I could use a flashlight or I could use a torch, but the halach is very clear that you must use a candle. Even if you forget to search for chametz at night, when it was required, you still have to search for chametz the next day, the morning of the 14th, and you would think that's daylight. Why would I need a candle? You still have to use a candle. And the symbolism of a candle is ner neshama of a Torah or. The candle is a symbolic of the soul, and the Torah is symbolic of light. So the combination is what you're searching for. So let's see what the Netivot Shalom says about this. He says, Biur ha'inyan ha'miyuchad shel bedika b'chorin v'sadkin. This is an unusual commandment to search in the nooks and crannies. Hu al pi mad omar b'sifrei HaKodesh, as we learn in the holy books, she'inyan chametz was or the aspect of unleavened and of leavened. Chametz is leavened bread, not unleavened. The aspect of leavened and yeast products, mora al koach hara sheba adam, really is hinting at the power of evil, the power of our evil desires, our desires to do bad, that is in every one of us. B'pchinas chametz u'bakochi soor, the aspect of leavening and yeast, something rising. Balzeh nemra hamitzvah shel bedika u'biur bitol, and because of this, we have the commandment. There's several parts of the commandment of getting ready for Pesach, getting rid of your chametz. One is the search for chametz that you're doing on Thursday night, the night before Pesach. The second, as part of that, is the bitul. You were saying that and you're also repeating this the following morning when you're burning the chametz. You're saying that any chametz that is still left is no longer mine, it's ownerless, and it should be as the dust of the earth. And then the next morning, you have to not only repeat that bitul, that's saying, but you also burn the chametz. Those are the three steps that are necessary. So it says, he says in the Netivot Shalom, "V'yesh b'chametz kamo kei madregos." And just like we have different steps of searching for the chametz, there's also different steps. Yesh chametz hanira la'ayin. There's different kinds of chametz. There's the chametz that you can see with your eyes. V'yodua la'adam, it's known to you. You're looking somewhere, you can see that there's chametz. V'yesh chametz she'ein yodea, and there's chametz that you don't know about. And yesh chametz belua. There's chametz that has been absorbed into something. And that's why you have to change your dishes and your pots and pans, because when you cook food and you have hot food on something, part of that hot food is absorbed into the pottery that you're using for your dishes, into the pots and pans that you're using. That's called belua. So that's absorbed there. V'yesh chametz no sentam. And there's chametz that you don't really realize it's chametz, but you can taste. It gives you a taste. V'yesh mashu chametz. And the other level of chametz, there's all these levels of chametz, is what they call a mashu. What is a mashu? A mashu means a little tiny bit, something that's invisible to the eye. And contrast the halacha, the law of chametz, with the law of kashrut. With the law of kashrut, if inadvertently a piece of treif, non-kosher food falls into kosher food, not deliberately, but inadvertently, and if there's 60 parts of kosher food, as opposed to that one little piece of treif food that fell in there, the mixture is considered kosher. It's called boto b'shishim. It's nullified in 60 parts. That does not apply. That does not apply to chametz. Chametz, you can have one drop, one little breadcrumb fall into 10,000 parts of something that was already ready for Pesach, and you got to throw it out. The whole thing is no good. Why is it so stringent with chametz? Because chametz, the laws of chametz come only 7 days a year, so we're not used to it. You have to be more careful, and this halacha then teaches us Rabbi teaches how careful you have to be, that even a mashu, the tiniest sliver of chametz, cannot fall into something. Now he's going to go on. He says, "Shekol elu hadargot," all of these levels I just mentioned of chametz, yeshnam b'koach harash ba'adam, are also present in the desires of a human being to do what they're not supposed to do. There's yesh, he goes on, yesh bechinos ra. There's an aspect of evil, hatamon, v'chavoi me'ein hodam, that you can't see. It's hidden away from your eyes. She'ula lios kol yamav mibli ladas klal hazdon hatamon b'chovo v'socho b'chovo. Sorry. You can go your whole life and not realize that you've got this propensity within you that you don't know about. It's hidden away. It's hidden from your own eyes. It's hidden from your own mind. You have no idea, and you may go through life never exposing it. In which case, no problem. So because of this, yesh levayer inyan b'dikas chometz yisod divrei Rav Kodesh Rav Mendel ben Mates. Because of this teaches us how you have to search for the chametz, as the pre-Horetz Rav Mendel ben Mates said. It says klala de milsa. The general concept is shekol adam tzorich mitztaref lechochma letzaref lezake kol haskosav midosav v'kochosav al Hashem. Basically, that everybody has to use wisdom of the Torah to be able to cleanse yourself of anything that you shouldn't be exhibiting, even those things that are hidden. Below yismoch, mashma avar avera miyamav. You shouldn't be somech. You shouldn't rely on the fact that, what do I care of this propensity that I have? I've never acted upon it, right? You shouldn't say that. Hare mistama kol kochosav kashurim bo yisborach. Shein ra'il dover. Even though you might think I'll never act on it, you can't trust yourself. As the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos says, Al tamin atzmacha ad yom mitecha. Don't trust yourself until the day you die. In other words, we always have these challenges, and you never know when you're going to be able to fall prey to these challenges, to give in to them. Maybe you won't come to this test. Maybe other things will prevent you from falling prey to your propensity, kamo habusha or masheya, because of your embarrassment. If you do something like this, you'll be embarrassed. Me'ata Ma b'kach shelo avad avar avera, im shorosh ha'avon atzmo eino nimchak milibo hari kosher bo chulu. Nonetheless, if you haven't gotten rid of this propensity from your heart, it will remain with you. And that's when we talk about the mashuhu, the little bit of chametz in the vat of kosher or Passover food, it destroys it all. So too, this little propensity that you haven't dealt with, propensity to do what is not right in the eyes of Hashem, that can come out and infect the rest of your body. It's like if somebody has a bacterial infection, it's a very small infection. If it's not treated, it can affect your whole body. And that's Adkan. In addition to just doing an avera, doing what is wrong, yesh eshoresh hara, hashoresh pora rosh la'ana. There's a root of evil, which is it's like a tree and the leaves of a tree. Shafilu im lo avad mi avar miyama averot b'poel haru nimtzo adai b'kirbo. This root that's within you, even though you've never acted upon it, you got to get rid of that root of the possibility of doing wrong. You have to recognize the potential negativity that might come from this and work to get rid of it. This is the aspect of destroying the chametz. Where it says you shall remove the evil from your midst. In other words, you've got to go deep down and remove the root of any negative propensities that you have. According to what the Rabbi said, Shorshi hara should be. I'm sorry, I skipped that. Yitakin shigam tzadik ba'aretz shelo chata ba'olam. It could be the most righteous person who's never sinned in his life. Harikasher yala la'olam hu'elyon. When he goes up to heaven, yisbarer she'im ki lo magia lo kol onesh, avol sadavar she'avoro yorad la'olam lo tikan klal. They can say to him that even though you haven't done anything that requires you to be punished, nonetheless, you were sent to this world for a particular person, and you didn't do what you were sent for. You didn't do your tikkun in this world. Because this particular negative thought spot hidden within you prevented that from happening. Shashoresh por rosh alanan shalom anan akiraso Yorad le'olam. This root prevented you from fulfilling the important task for which you came to this world. Nisha b'tukvo shelo nagabo klal. So you're left where you even though it hasn't actively caused you to do a sin, it's prevented you from doing what you're supposed to be doing. And therefore we say, Ein bir chametz ela sreifa. The only destruction of chametz has to be with burning. She'im alamasim ra'im maspik she'adam yakabel atzmo shumata lo yasuchein. You would think that's enough, that if you've done something wrong, it's enough to accept upon yourself that from this point on, you're not going to do this again. But to remove the root of this, which prevents you from what you're supposed to be doing in this world. On On this, we need the aspect that there's no way of destroying the chametz, destroying the evil, except by burning. You have to burn it out of yourself. What does that mean, to burn it out? When you do an avera, when you're doing something that is wrong, you're often doing it very passionately. You get real excited about it, almost on a feverish pitch. Therefore, to get rid of it, that's like a fever. That's like burning. To get rid of it, you have to do your tshuva, do your repentance, do your resolve not to do it again with the same feverish pitch. So you're burning it out of you. That's the comparison that is being made between burning chametz and burning what's within you. It doesn't mean a physical burning, but it means doing your tshuva, your repentance, with the same desire as you did the avera, as you did wrong. This is what it means. The night of the 14th, you should search for the chametz. As the Rabbi Chaim Vital says, Or la'arba aser, the word or, by the way, is used in the Mishnah. Or la'arba aser literally means the light of the 14th. And there's a discussion in the Gemara, well, does it mean light? Does it mean day, or does it mean night? And they come to the conclusion that it means night. But it's a strange word, or, to use for night. The light of the 14th, meaning the night of the 14th. So Rabbi Chaim Vital says that Merumaz le'es she'adam nichnas l'shnaso it hints at let me read that again. The 14th. That refers to when a person comes to the 14th. He has the opportunity on the 14th, the night of the 14th, to really become a Jew. But he has to search for the chametz, not just the physical chametz, but the chametz within himself. The time that he has the ability to become a Jew, he should check. He has to check within himself. He has to look at himself, search himself to see if there's any improper desires that are within him. And if so, get rid of it. Not just by saying I won't do it again, but by having the same feeling of getting rid of it as if you were doing the Avera. As long as he has not removed this from his midst, any ochel Yehudi Shalom. Excuse me, he can't be a complete Jew because he has that propensity that might spring out at any time. The Chumamar Tzadikim, as the righteous people say, Kshashu Yehudi Mavorech Baboker Shlovasani Goy, and so on. When a Jew makes a blessing in the morning, thank you, God, for not making me a non-Jew. He has to check himself. In Einbo Eza Chelek Goy, or Eza Ever Shehu Kagoy. He has to check himself. Does he have any part of him that is not what a Jew should be doing, but rather is what a non-Jew would be doing? And if he finds that he has such a part, he has to correct it. He or she has to correct it. Similarly, when we left Egypt, when the festival of Pesach was made holy for the people of Israel, excuse me, Sh'oz Mischadesh L'Kichusadu Lam Hanivchar Hashem, because that at that point we were sanctified to be the chosen people to Hashem. Ovo Nia Niam Yehudim, and from there we became Jews because God chose us to be Jews. So before this, it's necessary with the light of the 14th, the night of the 14th, to search for Chametz. Hainu es chelke hara shabo, in other words, the part of evil that is within him, ulavaro kadesh yochol liot Yehudi, to get rid of it, to make room for him to be a Jew. Heinas ha-Chametz hanigla in Yani Averos Bapoel. This is the revealed Chametz, where you're actually doing something wrong. That's like the piece of Chametz that you see. Heinas chelke hara hatimoni bakirbo. So whether it's the Chametz that you can actually see or the part of it that's buried within you, Gam im lo chet b'fol, even though you haven't acted on, you haven't done an act of sin. Shoresh hara, hapora rosh lana, hatmun b'soch b'chovo b'chori v'sadkin. You have this propensity that is hidden in the various corners of your body, various parts of your mind, symbolic of the little nooks and crannies of your house that you're searching. You have to search after it. You have to search after it and destroy it, so that you will then come into Pesach as a complete Jew, as a person who is whole, ready to serve God through this holy holiday of Pesach. Adkan. I have to stop there. My voice is not going to last any longer. Just have in mind when you're doing B'tikas Chametz that it's not just searching for crumbs, but you got to search yourself. And we just went through. Last week we had Parshas HaChodesh. HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem. This month is to you. This whole month of Nissan is a month of Hitchadshut, a month when we can renew ourselves, a month when we can be something that we didn't think we could be. We can change our character. It's hard. You fall into habits that are sometimes hard to get rid of. But in this month especially, this is the month where God listens to our prayers. It is said that as we were redeemed in Nissan from Mitzrayim, so too will be redeemed in Nissan, in this month of Nissan, in the future. I think we just each have to work on this renewal. Don't be satisfied with the status quo. Don't think I can't do anything about this. This is how I am. This is how God made me. No. God gave us all free choice. Here in Israel today, everybody, Baruch Hashem, is exercising their free choice with the elections. We have the elections here, which is an amazing thing. Many people, most people are exercising there. And that's a great zechut, a great merit to think that here we are, a Jewish people, after all these years of exile in our own land, able to vote for who we want our leaders to be. Anyway, I wish everybody a wonderful Pesach. I'm not sure yet if we will be online next week because it is B'dikas Chametz.
Not on Tuesday.
No, this is Tuesday, right?
Tuesday.
I keep thinking Thursday. Sorry.
Right.
We will, God willing, be online next week at Tuesday night or Tuesday day in America, 8 o'clock Israel time, and probably again talk about something about Pesach. Anyway, I wish everybody a wonderful Shabbat and a Chag Sameach v'Kasher. I reversed the words a little bit. You should have a happy and then kosher Pesach. Most people say have a Chag kosher Sameach, have a kosher Pesach and a happy Pesach. We know that everybody's going to work hard and going to have a kosher Pesach, but you don't want to get so mired down in the work of preparing for Pesach, preparing that it be kosher, that you forget that it's a Chag, it's a holiday, and you have to be Sameach, you have to be happy. So my blessing is to all of us to have a Chag Sameach v'kasher, a happy and kosher Pesach. Thank you for listening. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm thinking I'll probably be prone on the couch by next Tuesday.